Hey, everybody. Hope and pray that you're doing well today as we come to our word from the word. And today, that word is singing. Singing. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to break out into song today. But, if you're like me, I love music. I love hearing songs. I love the old hymns. I love the new contemporary. There's some Southern gospel that I love. It's a little bit of everything. And, and, and as whatever music that you like the most, maybe speaks to you the most, it has a way of kind of setting the stage for worship. And I mean, that's what music does. That's why so often you see songs, and I mean, even as the book of Psalms is really a book of songs and things that were sung back to the Lord. Uh, you know, uh, so many times in worship, we come kind of just repeating the words that are on a page. Maybe they're even on a screen or whatever, and we repeat the words, but are we really thinking about what they mean and what the words mean? And more importantly, do we really think about who we're singing to? A lot of the old hymns, they really really taught a lot of theology in their songs. That's why sometimes you look back and you say, well, why is it worded this way? I mean, it was a way that people could teach theology. And now a lot of the worship songs now, you say, well, look, they're really simple and they really repeat a lot. Well, it's kind of the idea, like you see in the Psalms, that it's singing music, not as much as the hymns are about God, but a lot of the contemporary songs are now singing to God. You say, well, which one's right? And I'd say yes, both of them, because we need to sing both about God and we need to sing to God. And music and singing has a way to get us excited and kind of let that joy that we're seeing and witnessing and experiencing, it helps us sing that joy back to the Lord. And look, we also know that in times of sorrow, it also gives us that peace and comfort and strength that we need in those moments, our darkest hours. I mean, think about some of the songs that were written, like It Is Well with My Soul, written at a deep and dark time, Amazing Grace. And you think about these songs, and if you really get back to the origin, it's amazing the words that were penned. I love, there's some new songs out there as well. So many talking about going through the fire, but trusting God nonetheless. And just to think about it, the Israelites, as we've been here in Exodus, they're coming out. They were crying and crying out to God, saying, "Look, why did you bring us here?" Crying out to Moses, "Why did you bring us here to just be killed here at the Red Sea?" And then God delivers in a most miraculous and divine way, a way that only He could. That He opens up the Red Sea, not the Reed Sea. He opens up the Red Sea. There's some theories out there that the Reed Sea, well, it's a small little sea, and that the wind could blow, and the little 3 inches of water or whatever would go. Could be actually pushed aside, and so they could walk across. And one gentleman that I had read at one point, he said, "Man, it's even a greater miracle than I first thought, because people wanted to disprove that the Israelites walked across, the Red Sea on dry land." And he says, "Well, look, it's more impressive than I first thought, because he drowned a whole Egyptian army in 3 inches of water." But see, I believe it was the Red Sea, and as it was a wall of water beside them, and as they walked across on dry land. Now, as much water as we have gotten in recent days, that it's hard to find some dry land. But to think that God in that moment had pushed the sea aside, and they walked across on dry land, the protection of God. Then, as the enemy is approaching, He went from being in front of them to back behind them to protect them from the enemy, to cause all confusion with the enemy as the Israelites go safely to the other side. And then God's hand of protection then became a hand of judgment to the Egyptians and wiped out the whole army. And it was now at this point that we see the Israelites fear God. They understand even more His great power. They trust the word of Moses. All the things that we've been talking about in recent days that were discouraging and upsetting for Moses and the people, and now they break out into song. So today. I just want to read this passage, and that's really going to be about what we're going to deal with today. Is just this song, Exodus chapter 15. And I know we've been talking about prayer, but sometimes our prayers are songs, and sometimes our songs are prayers. Then Moses and the children of Israel sang this song to the Lord and spoke, saying, I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will praise him, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war, and the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his army he has cast into the sea. His chosen captains also were drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them, they sank to the bottom like a stone. Your right hand, O Lord, has become glorious in power. Your right hand, O Lord, has dashed the enemy in pieces. In the greatness of your excellence, you have overthrown those who rose against you. You sent forth your wrath, it consumed them like stubble. And with the blast of your nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The flood stood upright like a heap. The depths congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My desire shall be satisfied on them. I will draw my sword. My hand shall destroy them. You blew with your wind. The sea covered them. They sank like lead in the mighty waters. Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like you, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? You stretched out your right hand, the earth swallowed them. You in your mercy have led forth the people whom you have redeemed. You have guided them in your strength to your holy habitation. The people will hear and be afraid. Sorrow will take hold of the inhabitants of Philistia. Then the chiefs of Edom will be dismayed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, will take hold of them. All the inhabitants of Canaan will melt away. Fear and dread will fall on them. By the greatness of your arm, they will be as still as a stone, till your people pass over, O Lord, till the people pass over whom you have purchased. You will bring them in and plant them in the mountain of your inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which you have made, for your own dwelling, the sanctuary, O Lord, which your hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. Today, will you just sing praises to the Lord? Will you just pray, make your prayers into songs and make your songs into prayer? Man, what a great way to spend time in conversation with God than just simply singing, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.